Very good afternoon. Welcome to the National Volleyball Centre here in Kettering. It is time for our first final of the Nevza Under-19s 2016 Championship. It's in the girls' competition. It's Norway versus Denmark here on court number 1. Rob Hayes and Louis Lett with you on commentary as we have been all day. Louis, Norway beat Denmark 3-1 in Pool B on Friday. Does that make them favourites, or is this a standalone game in itself?
Good afternoon, Robert. Potentially gives them just a slight psychological advantage, but I think, as we're well aware, every game is different, and what we've learned today is that the serving and the passing of every side we've seen has really been the limiting factor. If you serve well, Denmark and Norway are both going to fancy their chances throughout this game. Two very established sides, both playing some very, very good volleyball. Going to be a bit of a belter.
We certainly hope so. So Norway come into this unbeaten. They topped Pool B. They cruised past Iceland in the semi-finals. And here they are in the final. Denmark had to go through the quarter-finals, where they beat England 3-0, and then overcame Sweden, who won Pool A 3-1 in the semi-finals. So a good display there for Denmark yesterday, and they'll carry plenty of confidence into this one. The team being introduced to the arena at the moment are Norway. They'll play in red this afternoon.
Yeah, looks like we can see Axland, Holmsjø, Malmstad, just to name a couple. Looks like a fairly similar side that played in that semi-final. See for Denmark 6, Julie Jensen, 3, Anna Katrina, Kazan, 14, Helena Ibak, 15, Maya Strip.
The referees are ready to go and the players are taking their place. This is the Nevza Under-19
Defensive specialist, Julie Jensen.
Here we go then, the final of the girls Under-19 Nevza competition 2016. Coming to you live from the National Volleyball Centre here in Kettering. It's Norway versus Denmark, and it's gonna be a belter. Norway the favourites on paper, but Denmark with plenty to prove here, to prove that they are worthy of being in this final. So there you have it on your screen in front of you. Hitting from left to right in this first set will be Denmark. They'll get us underway with number 3, Anna Katrina Håkansson. And it's first point to Denmark. A good start for them. Apologies if you just got stuck on the picture there just for a second, but a good start for Denmark. First point on the board, settle any nerves.
She's starting quite far back. It's low toss, jump float serve, but you see her body weight going right the way through the ball. It's a short contact off the hand, means the ball flies off a little bit quicker. The ball will be doing quite a lot of moving. The Norwegian passing unit struggling to see the ball and track it.
Solid start for Håkansson. The pass is better this time for Norway, but the cross-court swing goes well wide, and Denmark are racing into a 3-0 lead.
See here, just Arsted. The ball doesn't quite get wide enough. She has to really work hard to get the ball on her right shoulder. It doesn't quite get across her body, so her arm naturally goes out towards the sideline. She misses by quite some distance, but this is not the start that Norway would have wanted here.
And they can't get their hands going quick enough at the net as well. Helena Elbæk was there for Denmark. 4-0. Who'd have thought this?
Long way to go in this one, buddy. Could go either way. There's going to be long swings of points to either side, but you're completely right. Norway are going to, just confidence-wise, they'll just take a bit of a heat. Maybe there's a bit of complacency after that first game in the group.
Well, it's enough for the head coach Mats Björkman to call a timeout. Apologies, head coach Lewis Torps of Norway.
I find coach's worst nightmare to want to call a timeout within the first stage. Obviously, the technical timeout comes at 8. You know, it's usually pretty drastic if you have to call a timeout before that, before the situation brings you back in. Just see they're really struggling, Norway, to track that ball and create an angle off their platform to their target. They will not be happy with their passing unit as of yet, but credit where credit's due. Hackerson has served extremely well.
Yeah, and for Norway, the sooner they can get Hackerson off serve, the better. They've got to deal with that serve first to stand any chance of doing so.
Missed opportunity in the net for the middle blocker. Should have really got hands over the ball and force that ball down. Happy days. It's finally Norway through Olmstad managed to get themselves on the scoreboard.
Renate Bjelland causing problems for the Danish libero Sidse Andersen.
Find that passing is possibly the skill that's hardest to produce under pressure. Struggling to track the ball and create a solid platform. You have to almost keep space underneath your armpits to create a real nice solid platform to your target, and then you hold it there to see it off.
This time it was the captain, Julie Jensen, who stepped in to receive that serve, and to much greater effect for Denmark.
Yeah, libero on an absolute collision course with the ball there, really stepping across it and choosing to try and take it quite high, instead of potentially opening up a little bit, tracking the ball back and taking it a little bit deeper within the court.
Elbæk serving for Denmark.
Great start this for Denmark.
Norway just trying to reduce the deficit as we approach the first technical timeout.
There's a good message there as well. They finally managed to get middle, and that's really good work from the libero to get her shoulders underneath the ball and to pop it up there. It means they get the middle in the game. It's the first time. Really just sends out a message to the opposition middle blocker that they have to stay committed when blocking in the middle. Stay with it.
Denmark do get themselves into the first technical timeout with a sizable advantage, 8-3. Really good start for Denmark.
Yeah, tip was a little bit loose from Olmstad. Know that the wing spike is sitting around on that one, covering the tip. Right into the comfort zone and allowed Denmark a real good opportunity to score again in transition. They did, and really a 5-point lead. It's definitely not all over in this set, but wasn't quite expecting this sort of start.
No, interesting to note though that in their clash in Pool B on Friday, Denmark did actually take the first set before losing the next 3. So they started well on Friday, but the question is, can they continue this strong start and make it count and learn from their mistakes a couple of days ago?
It's not about how you start. You're a Leicester fan.
Yeah, but we're not going to win the league again. The last time we won the league, I was here commentating, believe it or not.
That's a communication problem for Norway. There's 3 passes, 11. The opposite player is not meant to be in that pass. So for the libero to leave that one to the opposite, sorry, number 4, the opposite player to pass, really she needs to be taking responsibility there. Communication's key within the passing unit.
Lachenmeier looking to put Norway under some more pressure with the serve. This time the pass is a bit better. It's a free point here for Denmark if they can make the most of it. They come through the middle.
It's good. Six is setting quite high there. It's good defense from Garda, but quite like your six-player setting a little bit deeper so you can keep the game in front of you and sweep up. But she did well. Just got a little bit tight on the net.
A couple of changes for Norway.
Number 4, Super Orestad, replaced by number 3,
Orestad out, Bogan in.
Number 1, the captain, Anna Askeland, replaced by number 12.
Askeland out. Victoria Demene in for Norway. So 2 changes as they try to halt this Danish attack early in the first set of this girls' final.
Potentially, as you know, if something's not working, then something has to change. That's much better. That's a very nice swing from Olmstad. Attacking the left-hand side of the ball. Body weight's going right the way through it. It's a good contact. Bit of DIY, good passing from Stad as well. Potential handling error, not given.
Just long from Garda.
Set is always under pressure there. She does well. Denmark just keeping the ball going, not making any mistakes, not really building any pressure there. But actually, what happens is Norway are the team now trying to establish themselves within this set. So the pressure's on them to score points. Denmark just have to stay consistent.
Jensen and Andersen both sliding into the officials' table there in their bid to retrieve that particular play. Unable to do so.
Much better set, that one, from the setter, taking it high. Good hands, nice finish following right the way through the ball, thumbs towards the target.
Comes off of Garda's block.
Nice work from Denmark. That's a strip, just running the opposition middle blocker around. The ball goes in. Usually the middle player would go there. Look, the middle player on the opposite side, number 7, nowhere near her opposing number there. Leaves her one-on-one on the outside. Nice play from Danish.
Service error from Denmark's captain, though, Julie Jensen. Would you believe it? Here's a stat for you. Only 4 service errors in the entirety of the knockout stage of this competition before that, Julie Jensen. Not the kind of thing we expect to see from her.
She's just missed one.
I'm glad I laid that stat on after she missed one.
That's a phenomenal stat.
You're welcome.
Yeah. Got a lot of time for that.
I'd like to tell you I've got plenty more where that came from, but we'll see.
Absolute cannon on the outside from Albeck, but defence is parked still. Managed just to put the handbrake on in place in defence. 15 caused some problems here.
It's good and strong at the block from Maya Strip. Here she comes back to serve with the score at 13-6.
Ball just getting caught underneath the setter quite a lot here for Norway. It's a good swing, but 6 just parks on the angle. Stays nice and still again. Just stay still and then react to what you see. Don't try and cheat too much. If you see the arm slow down, then potentially they're going to chip the ball or tip it.
Just avoided the roof girders here and just avoided catching the line as well. So well left by Denmark. They're using Elbeck quite a lot at the moment, out wide.
Good swing and good cover on both sides. Ball was well off the net, so the outside player did well to just kick a wider approach, make sure they could still get the feet to the ball. And Norway surviving here.
Just chipping away at the deficit. bit by bit at the moment. Have plenty of faith in their own ability, Norway. But unbeaten so far this weekend in Kettering. I don't think Elbeck quite caught that as well as she'd like, but it enabled her to find a gap that Norway weren't expecting her to find.
Yeah, Axeland's sitting up on the tip there. She's very, very high. And if the line's exposed, really you'd want your one player sat more on 6 meters playing defense to take the hard hit. But she's just operating for the tip. So it means when the ball doesn't get blocked, she's got to look out for her face.
Haakonsen is back on service. She's the one that started this set so well for Denmark and caused problems within the Norwegian passing unit. And once again, proving so there. The libero, Martina Clementson-Helia, unable to receive again.
There's no hiding place out there for the libero. You can see the libero's response there of the missed serve, jumping up and down, celebrating, realising that actually I don't fancy passing this serve, so if you make an error, I'm going to be very, very happy. It's just a difficult serve. Anything flat and punchy and fast, it's difficult to track and create an angle. Our system this time, Denmark.
Well, all sorts of confusion in the Norwegian ranks there, and that takes us into the second technical timeout with Denmark leading 16 points to 9.
They're not going to be happy with that. Norway, someone has to take responsibility. If the ball goes on the setter, it's very, very schoolgirl stuff. When the ball goes on the setter, it's a good use of the free ball to go on the setter and to go short, but the libero's not on court, so usually the libero would step forward and set this one, but as the middle player's in for the libero, the defensive specialist, is on the side, then it's curtain. Someone else needs to step forward and take that challenge on.
Nobody did this time. Denmark in the ascendancy in the first set of this final. 16 points to 9 their lead.
Substitution for Denmark. Out comes number 14, Helena Elbeck, replaced by number 12, Christina Lundberg.
Elbeck out, Lundberg in. Lundberg comes straight back to serve.
16-9.
Service substitution, trying to take the game further away from Norway. Intriguing here.
Good serve from Lundberg. Drops it in short of Helia. She couldn't reach in front of her and get enough on it.
Coach will be super happy with that substitution coming in, making that statement straight away. The libero for Norway. It is absolutely struggling out there. The court's very, very big. Feels like she's defending it all herself. Working the block though from Denmark as well. They're serving and blocking very, very strongly. Slightly better set from Askeland. This time it's just getting a little bit wider. She struggles. Sometimes she gets the ball caught underneath her a little bit when she's setting instead of keeping the ball in front of her and pushing through it. That time the ball's in a bit of a better position. Middle's in the game for Denmark again, but that's some retrieve, some cover from the libero. Second chance though for Norway. They go for the slide attack to the outside and buried down the line. Really good swing from Kragholm. Again, that slide, the reverse. Quite often you see them hit the line off that set because the ball's always travelling across them. It's hard to snap it back on the angle. Oh, frozen. We're a bit frozen here in Kettering.
Little hop, skip and a jump leading into that serve from Lachmeyer. It's effective, if slightly unconventional.
to at the start, the serving and the passing is just so important within the aspect and the context of this game. And it's been Denmark who've just really Norwegians from the baseline using it as a weapon, their serve as a weapon to really take the game to the opposition. Didn't quite expect an 8-point lead, Robert.
Norway are showing glimpses of what they can do, though, when given the opportunity.
Yeah, the problem is, for me, is that this first pass just is not organised. They don't know their roles and responsibilities, so even that was a little bit scatty from the three passes because they let the ball go again to the opposite player on the backcourt who wasn't supposed to be passing. So it just shows that there's a lack of confidence out there from Norway, but they have got the physicality to put the ball on the floor when they do get the ball in.
Thought that might have got a touch on the way through. It didn't. So back to serve for Norway. It's Emily Olimstad.
Maybe could just be a little bit more aggressive with the feet, trying to get the ball to the left-hand side of the ball, jam the feet inside the ball and really go to town on it. Just never got quite onto a hitting arm. Hitting from out of town now, Denmark.
Out it comes for the captain Jensen again.
Six players saw that really, really well, the defence down the line. Oh, that's phenomenal defence as well from Denmark. They are fighting for everything here. This persistence will very much keep momentum going their way. Wow, 3 or 4 times already through this rally.
And they deserve that. Work their socks off at that point.
Norway just, no matter what they throw at Denmark at the minute, the defence is very, very organised. They're still, they're low. And they almost just buy themselves time for the error. Look at that. Knows that she's not going to get across and block their strip, so she drops off to try and deal with the tip and somehow just gets something on it.
Once again, the Danish serve is causing all sorts of problems. Sørensen this time was the service substitution, brought in to replace Emma Stevensborg, and another inspired substitution from the Denmark head coach Mats Bjørkman.
Sweet celebration as well. Did you see that one?
I missed it.
Arm straight up, finger pointing to the roof. He's having a good time out there, the coach.
Yeah, why not? The opposite number, Lois Tufts of Norway, not so happy. Called a timeout with his side trailing 13-21.
It's an opportunity for Norway to start rebuilding. I think Norway will understand that this set has gone away from them and the chances of them winning this one is completely against them, but they know that there's some things they still can achieve out there, which is to build momentum for set 2 and to try and organise themselves to put up a better fight or potentially make a comeback in the next one.
Jonna Sørensen, her first involvement in the match was to put all sorts of pressure on with her first serve. That one is just the wrong side.
Gnarly serve that one though, only just missing out to the right-hand side. Coaches won't mind players missing sideline or the baseline by small margins. No pressure on the shoulders of Denmark at this moment in time. I'm sure pressure will come. There'll be times where they're feeling they're back against the wall, but that's not going to happen now.
A rare bit of miscommunication for them. They've been pretty hot on loose balls and uncertain moments in the ranks so far. There's not been too many of them.
Denmark substitution.
Might have to watch my car on that one. Missed by quite
Still travelling from Krakow. Julie Jensen now the captain of Denmark. Just 3 points away from taking the first set in this final.
using the pipe. Unfortunately, it's not as aggressive option. It's because they're in trouble. It's more of a safety option, that from Norway. Now they can get the pass in, so there's a chance to deliver through the middle on the 3-metre shoot. Cover's outrageous from Norway, but put away. Free gift, just an overpass dealt with from Strib, who's been, for me, a very, very good look in the block. The thing I like about Strib is that she's really, really aggressive in the block with her hands. She's right in the face of the opposition. Finishing position's really, really strong.
Too long this time, though, from Julie Jensen, but still a fairly comfortable cushion for Denmark at this stage.
Philosophy is like, it's very difficult to receive that deep one. It's very difficult to track that ball back and try and keep the ball in front of you within defense or passing as much as you can. See that both sides are really trying to work that deep serve at the moment.
And as you say, if they're missing by very small margins when trying to put some pressure on with the serve, the coaches won't mind too many.
100% not. You're completely right. This hall tends to do a lot in this Kettering centre as well. The ball
set point for Denmark, and it's just long from Maya Strip.
3 missed serves in a row, Rob. Got anything else to talk about?
Should we talk about service errors?
Yeah.
Well, we'll see. We'll see what Karolina Fauska's got to offer.
I reckon she's going to go for an ace straight down the line to the right-hand side of the libero. Nope, couldn't be any opposite.
Well, it was a pretty decent one, though. Denmark unable to deal with it.
You can see that the way that Denmark is set up, they're set up already knowing that she loves this serve from 5 across the court. They're really giving her that whole line. You can see that almost like hit it. She does try and hit this time, but
yeah, well left by the libero. Change in libero, actually, for Denmark. But they win the first set, 25-18. That's a really strong start for Denmark. Norway have been hit and miss so far. They've shown flashes of the reasons why they're unbeaten so far this weekend here in Kettering. But Denmark have made the most of their opportunities, put the pressure on, particularly with a very strong service game. And ultimately, that's the difference at the end of the first set. First blood to Denmark. Now, remember, if you want to get in contact with us here at the National Volleyball Centre this afternoon, you can do so via Twitter. Use the hashtag U19Nevza16. That's hashtag U19Nevza16. We'd love to hear from you, where you're watching, who it is that you're supporting, and why on earth are you not here in possibly sunny Kettering? Don't get to see the outdoors much on days like this. Norway have been patiently waiting by the side of the court for a minute or two, ready to get underway in this second set. Denmark just taking their time to retake their positions on the court. But here we go. So switch around in sides after the first set. Closest on your screen at the moment in red are Norway. And in black, Denmark, who took the first set, 25-18. Norway get us back underway with their number 1, Anna Askeland. Deadly accurate, straight down the line from Norway's number 11, Christina Garde. Little postage stamp in the back corner there. Picked it out perfectly.
Nice set from the libero, stepping on in there, taking responsibility and just setting that reverse ball to the outside player. What do you reckon, Rob? Think Norway are going to up their game in this one?
Well, they proved that they could do it when they were in this situation a couple of days ago here, so I see no reason why not. Why wouldn't we want a 5-set thriller?
Love 5-set thrillers, and that's another good serve. Barrow's really suffering out there.
Been a tough afternoon so far for Martina Clemenson-Hillier.
Saying earlier that as a libero, when you're passing well, you feel like you can pass the whole court on your own. But when you're struggling, you just want to go and hide in the corner, and that court starts getting bigger and bigger and bigger.
Or you want to do what she did just here and know for certain that was going out the back of the court and get well out the way of it.
Nope.
No, thank you.
Nope. And celebrate. That's a pretty good pass from there from Chabot. You just see that she did really well to quite a flat serve, fast, potent serve, and she does well to just hold her platform to the target, and she finishes it quite well. She could have held it maybe for a slightly longer, but that's why the ball manages going, because she holds her platform and the ball stays. She almost waves it off the runway.
A couple of mistakes in a row from Emma Stevensborg. Her last spike into the net. This one, cross court again was the option, just wide. Good run of service points this for Garde. Until that moment. How it always goes.
The Robbie curse.
Happens more often than I'd like.
Bit of passing from Norway. Pretty good from the setter, managing to be able to see that one over the shoulder, turn and flip it to the middle. Coming on that quick attack. 6 in the right spot, but it was just too high. Difficult to play defense above your waist height. It's important to keep your hands where you can almost just see them in front of your face.
Just long from Bjerland. Allows the gap to be closed to a single point once again for Denmark. They were well in front at this stage in the first set. They're staying nice and close at the moment. Lachenmeyer serving now for them.
Again, trying to use middle. This time the middle was used because no other option. It was really out of reach. Couldn't get 2 hands on the ball to force it out, but we're in the 3rd or 4th stage of this rally. It's gone high to the outside. It's a tip over the top of the block. Good reactions again from Strip, but unfortunately, she's unstable in the air on landing. Affects your balance, affects your motor skills. Nice tip, that one.
Again, Strip just can't quite flick it in the general direction of a teammate. Was upon her very quickly again. She provided the dummy option that came straight back off of the Norwegian block, off of Kragham. This time Strip gets it right at the net. She's impressing you so far, Louis?
Yeah, it's a good set from Ashland to get round the ball and really push that ball sort of 8 or 9 meters. But what Stripp does well is she knows that the middle's not in the game because the pass isn't in a good enough place. And she also knows that the setter's on the front court, so you haven't really got an opposite option from there. So she does well to get out, form the block, go grab another point for the Danes.
But we're into the first technical timeout of this second set, and it's Norway on top now, 8-5. It was 8-3 in Denmark's favour at this stage in the first set, so a bit of a swing in fortunes. We expected Norway to come out with a bit of purpose in this second set. That's exactly what they've done. As the Norwegian libero, Martina Clementsen-Gilje, who has struggled somewhat in this final so far. But if Norway can get their attackers swinging, all of a sudden the pressure is lifted a little bit on the libero, because the points are coming from elsewhere and there's less focus on that aspect.
At the moment, it's the Danish passing unit that's under pressure, so it's a bit of a respite for the libero. And arms quite close to the body. Can't create that platform, that picture to the target. Ball just dies inside of the outside player. Struggle city for Denmark at the moment. You can see here that quite a wide approach, her feet facing quite straight, but it's just dying away from her. She tries to hit it off her body, away from her body on the fade.
Shift in body language as the two teams went for this timeout. It's been called by Denmark, unsurprisingly. 5-10 they trail, but Norway with a bit of a spring in their step and a smile on their face as they went over to their bench. Denmark, I'm not going to say a trudge because we've still got a long way to go in this final, but certainly not quite as light on their feet as they were at this stage in the first set. It's always astonishing how quickly mindsets can change in this sport. From being full of confidence and well on top, Denmark are now finding themselves with a 5-point deficit to try and claw back. Changing it up with the reverse set, finished off by Kragholm.
Nice set again from Aspen. Free ball, so it's been dealt with beautifully. Again, they go quite late on that slide. There's no way Stripp's going out to track the middle blocker on that, the middle spiker on that one.
Gertz on for Haakonsen for Denmark. Julie Jensen overstretching and overhitting. It's all going Norway's way at the moment.
Good width on the set from Maxland again. I think that's one thing that has improved as well, is Set's footwork to be able to keep getting the ball wide enough to give us spiker all options. She's gone right the way through that one.
Captain Julie Jensen takes a seat. Jonna Sorensen is on to replace her. Straight down the line. Once again, she's picked out that spot 2 or 3 times now, Garda.
She naturally likes hitting the ball that way, but again, great setting. She's well out of system there. But naturally, her arm swing draws the ball from right to left. The arm comes through.
You say that there, Askeland taking responsibility, stepping in.
That was a great set, that one. Coach isn't too happy. Sure, this one went out. The Norwegian coach. Let's have a better look here.
Well, we've got the benefit of a slow-mo replay, but I don't think that down there, right in the coach's area, Lewis Tufts needed that slow-mo replay. She was right in front of it and not very happy.
It's a great high arm. That's good use from a bad situation, as is that. See again, everything from Garda wants to come back. So for me, I would be trying to looking at a defensive system that's based around protecting the line and making sure that we give her a little bit more of the angle. But if the block's not stable and the timing's not right in the block, then she's still going to have a field day regardless.
Wow.
No way.
That's another call that's gone against Norway. They were celebrating, sure that they'd done the right thing, letting that serve come out the back of the court. We catch that on the replay that Libero left it with just out of shot with the baseline.
It's a little bit unfortunate for Norway, that one.
Lewis Tufts, the coach, is going spare on the sideline here. And now there's a breakdown in communication there between Olimstad and Garda.
I think an interesting fact here is that one bad decision can really disrupt the approach of your team, and it's important that you still stay in control here. Norway just allowing that to happen. That's really poor from Denmark. Denmark really have to realise that there's times when you have to go for your serves, but there's also times when you have the opposition on the ropes, and you really don't have to go high risk for high reward. You just have to keep making the passing unit move and make sure that you keep asking them the question and putting them under pressure. Fortunately, Denmark have just given a gift to their opposition for absolutely nothing.
Second technical timeout then of the second set, 16-10 in favour of Norway. As you say, Louis, Denmark, just get that ball, get that serve, put it back in play as quickly as you can, because Norway had threatened to lose their focus just a touch.
Timeouts also come at a very good time for Norway. These technical timeouts can often work as an advantage, mostly do work as an advantage for one team who are losing a bit of control, some momentum, some rhythm, some confidence. Just gives them a time to figure stuff out, problem solve, have a rest, and see how it goes.
Substitution for Norway, number 11, Christina Garda comes out, replaced by number 8,
Garda out for Oda Strijhomme. Good stuff from Elbeck.
It's a big blow, and the ball stays in front of her, gives her a real opportunity to attack through that opposite position. A blocking angle on her, she sees. Fortunate thing, when the ball comes across you have a bit better court vision on the right-hand side if you're a right-hander. Ball comes across you get to have a little look at the block on the way through, and then you can see where the gap is. Happens a little bit quicker than what I just explained it, but you get the idea. Good reactions again in the Danish middle.
Olimstad couldn't quite get the purchase required for Norway, and Denmark are just closing the gap here. It's only down to 4 points now with Elbeck on serve again. That's long, and the gap's now 3. And Denmark are asking some questions of Norway, so much so that Norway have called a timeout. Haven't scored a point since the second technical timeout.
Ball just a little bit underneath the opposite player means that obviously the trajectory that the ball takes is that more of an upward one. If the ball's in front of you, then you can obviously dictate the ball downwards a little bit more, or can direct or control the direction of the ball. Interesting time. The libero again from Norway is really having a bad time out there. She's maybe focusing on moving her feet more than tracking the ball. She's quite agitated. Her feet are moving all over the place, and it means that by the time the ball gets to her, she's not in a stable position to really get a solid contact off the platform to her arms, from her arms to the target.
Elbeck serving then. 3 points in a row out of the second technical timeout for Denmark, and then we get a service error. Would you believe it?
Seen that a few times, bud. Just that break up in play where you have that time to go off and then you have to come back on and refocus, but you've taken direction from a coach or something like that, and it's just enough to put you off track.
Danish rhythm disrupted.
Yeah, lift called on the middle player here. See that her wrist's traveling in an upward motion underneath the ball. Can't do that with a flat hand.
Bieland serves long, though, for Norway. Work at the net for 2 in a row from Strip.
Bit unfortunate here for the libero. Bit of pinball going on sometimes. She's in the right place, doing the right thing. 10 points, headshot.
Denmark won't care how the points come.
They're just pulling up the jerseys of Norway at the moment.
Did you try and name that curse after me earlier?
Sloppy, isn't it? 2 or 3 missed serves in a row. You can see the coach of Denmark, Coach Bjorkman, just getting agitated. He doesn't like standing still at the best of times by the looks of it, but he's getting slightly more agitated now, doing the old Mourinho up and down the touchline.
He's a stand with your hands on your hips and pace about kind of bloke, isn't he?
Yeah.
Agonising anguish on the face of Maya Strip. Just couldn't quite reach around it. Didn't get the angle. You see there, she's just trying to shovel it back into court. Not quite.
Just smuggled it through Danish customs. Not always pretty, just their approach was underneath the ball. Block timing was just a little bit late, off the hands and out of play.
Denmark substitution. Number 12, Katrina Lundberg, comes in replacing number 7.
Another service substitution for Denmark. Lundberg in for Stevensborg.
So it does well to stand that one up. Norwegian setters really is working her feet a lot better than the first set. She is going to have to work her feet very well to get that one, though.
Yeah, a long way out. And again, spotlight on Martina Hillier. Good again from Lundberg. Two players for the same ball there. 3 point now for Denmark. Can they make the most of it? They come straight through the middle, straight through strip. And have closed the gap to 2 points here.
That was a good bad one. Middle's a little bit out of time. It's a free ball, so really pass has to go in right on the spot. You can just see that ball's drifting across her. She's a little bit late in the jump, but comes off the fingertips, and it's not pretty, but it's effective.
Orestad out, Demene in for Norway, but it's still Katrina Lundberg on service duty for Denmark. Did that catch the line? Not quite. There's another close one for the officials that are closest to our commentary position here. Another tough one to call. We'll have a look at it on the replay as a timeout is called. Yep, correct call this time. The timeout's called by Denmark with the gap still at 3 points. Norway just need 4 more to level this final.
Going after the libero again, aren't they? They start very high. 3 passes from Norway, and that deep ball has been a struggle for them.
Remember, hashtag U19Nevza16 if you want to get in contact with us. Hashtag U19Nevza16 on Twitter. Holmstad serving for Norway. A set behind, but just in front in this second set. It's been an intriguing one to watch so far. 3 point for Denmark if they can work it, and it's clever, but it's well read by the libero. And it's the point goes the way of Norway. That'll make Martina Hillier feel a lot better because she's done really well here. Look how far she's had to dive to reach that.
It's a great touch from the libero. I think one thing that liberos will understand is that passing and defense are 2 totally different strands of the game. So if you're struggling in your pass and you know you're a little bit or you've lost your confidence, you can always make up within the defense aspect to try and make points for your team.
Norway are getting closer to the winning line in this second set. The captain of Denmark is back on, Jensen replacing Sørensen. Trying to come through the middle for Strip, and she just did not get that one right. She got away with one a couple of points ago. Not this time.
Tough for a middle player to be really aggressive when they know that the setter's not really being aggressive into the ball as well. She's really decelerating backwards with the ball.
1 set point was all that Norway needed, and they level it up 25-18, a complete reversal of the first set, and it's as you were, and it's best of 3 now in this final.
Yeah, it's a big shame that for Denmark, because they worked hard throughout the middle stages of that set after a poor start to really establish themselves again into the game. Norway just showed their class.
Håkansson, who served so well for Denmark at the beginning of this match, will get the third set underway. It's 1-1. Denmark in the black outfits, Norway in red. And now we're down to a best of 3. 25-18, Denmark won the first set. 25-18, Norway won the second.
It's well found from the opposite to be able to establish a line from that angle. Elbeck chipping away on the outside. Defense just sitting a metre inside the line, the libero. Nice wide, high set. Really, the middle player there, a little bit, well, they're already on the way down, not being able to form their hands because, well done. That's a nice set, excellent play from Norway. Middle player doing extremely well. Berglund to be able to run from the right side down to the middle and then snap it back from where she came from. Very, very nice work. Both teams establishing the middle early on in this set. That's going to be useful for the coaches. Both can be happy with their teams being able to do that.
Good rally, this one. Plenty of exchanges. Maybe didn't need to keep that one back up, but eventually it goes Norway's way. Off the hands of Martina Kragham.
Again, the Norwegian setter Asklund is really starting to find her range, starting to get the ball a lot wider the areas than she did in the first set. Out of system, so libero has to come and set. It's the opposite. Nice high contact going through it, but Norwegian defense is strong.
Interesting exchange so far in the early stages of this third set. Just waiting to see if either side can establish a bit of control. Service error comes in from Helena Elbeck.
Maybe an hour in almost. It's just flown by.
No question on that decision for our, I was going to say much maligned official, but he's only got one wrong in our eyes so far.
Good job, that.
Ace service, Victoria Demark.
Done well here again. That deep serve, so difficult to track back. Not only are you flirting with your tracking capability to know whether the ball's going in or out, but it's also very hard to get back, stay behind the ball to be able to guide it in. Set's very tight, so you're getting tipped. You see quite a lot of the time players will tip when the ball's set too tight. Good reactions from the wing spiker Jensen, but can't keep it. Norway are really starting to dictate things here.
First 5 or 6 points of this set, we weren't sure who was going to establish control of it. It's very much Norway now.
It's good positioning and defence from Olmestad. Wing spiker just sitting off on the 3-metre line and taking that sharp hit. And it's now going to go to an offence as well from the outside. It's a rocket of an arm, but she's dealt with the Danish libero.
Was that a knee used there as well? Good improvisation, but the antenna has been hit, so it's the point the way of Denmark. But a bit of a rally that had a bit of everything, some well-constructed points, some sort of tennis at in the close proximity to the net as well. Them points are good to win, though. to boost a bit of confidence for Denmark.
Yeah, Askeland's really throwing her hitter underneath a bus there. She's under pressure herself, so she really has to stabilise the play, maybe give a bit more height on the set instead of trying to play it on that width. Always making it difficult. She couldn't quite move her feet quick enough to get underneath the ball. This is a
very wide there to try and cut that back across. Two off the antenna in a row. 7-4 now.
Passing problems for Norway again, just like the first.
It's a shame for Helia because her defensive work, the libero, has been exceptional, but the passing, not quite so much.
It's a great serve this as well. It's straight down the line. It's very difficult to create an angle when the serve's coming straight and you have to try and angle the ball back in front of the setter between 2.5 and 3. She's still jolting around quite a lot. She's doing a lot of moving, struggling to keep her head still. And the problem if your head's not still is it's very difficult in any sport to be able to track a ball when your head's wobbling, you're not quite balanced or stable.
This is a good run of service points for Sophia Andersen of Denmark. She's stepped in and she's doing a job at the moment. And she's closed the gap from 2-7 down to 6-7. Gets a bit of fortune there. It just creeps over the net. That catch the line. Yes, it did. Off of Maya's strip. So it's 7-7. We just said Norway had established some control. 7-2 up. All of a sudden, Sophia Andersen comes in to serve. 5 points in a row.
Norway will be kicking themselves there because Denmark really did give them a chance. They should have dealt with that free ball, that defensive ball, a lot better. But again, problems in communication. Sent the ball straight back over, but block from strip was strong.
And somehow, Denmark take a lead into the first technical timeout of the third set.
Watch strip here. She does well to get her feet out. Really close the gap. It wasn't her that got the block in the end. It's definitely number 7, Stensborg, but she's doing a good job there in the middle strip. It's a bit more of a demanding team talk than potentially we would have seen if there wasn't that hot run of serves from Denmark.
Yeah, great stuff from Sophia Andersen. They could quite easily and quite conceivably have come into this technical timeout 8-2 behind Denmark. In fact, they come into it 8-7 in front.
It's a crazy thing about this game at this level is that there can just be such swings and sways of points, of service pressure or mistakes. Especially at a junior age, there's a lot of pressure on these athletes. And they've not really been in the washing machine that long. The washing machine being that sort of pressure environment where everything's a bit muggy and not clear in your head, and it's a good experience for these athletes.
Points off of the Andersen serve just keep on coming.
Tumble dries on.
Substitution for Norway. Number 12, Victoria.
Well, Norway tried a couple of substitutions when things weren't quite going their way in the first set. Interesting to see what difference they can potentially make here. Still got to find a way of dealing with the Sophia Andersen serve. And if you were tuning in expecting the boys' final, it will follow the conclusion of the girls' final. The initial projected start time of the boys' final was approximately 5 minutes ago, 4 o'clock, but we've had a couple of longer matches here at the National Volleyball Centre in Kettering, which has pushed our timings slightly back. So if you're here for the boys' final, why not settle in and watch the girls' final first? It's coming up after the conclusion of this final.
Nice set. Real nice high, wide set. It gives the wing spiker real opportunity here. You'll see it see that the game at the highest level is getting faster, 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 more physical, but just here, that's good stability from Denmark. Can't take their foot off the gas now.
No, Norway calling a timeout, trying anything to try and disrupt this rhythm. It's 9 points in a row now for Denmark, from 2-7 down, 11-7 up.
Points in a row is just crazy.
In fact, good to watch the two teams on a split screen there. For Denmark, it's very much a let's keep doing the right things here. For Norway, they'll just want the ball back in hand. They want to try and put together a run of their own points. Sophia Anderson is just chipping away here.
Norway need to turn the tap off. They're leaking points everywhere here in Kettering. They have no answer. Passing everywhere. The confidence, the body language. Then again, still trying to go back with the ball, but actually there's no stability. Legs here you can see maybe on the replay. Trying to go back with the ball, but not really committing the weight to either leg, not really looking to be balanced. Have to try and maintain a real good, strong, solid platform to your target. Struggling again.
Should be another point. Under pressure once again in the Danish block. This time it was Stevensburg and stripped together. And the thing is that the service of Anderson is putting Denmark on top, but her teammates around her are finishing off the points excellently as well.
Yeah, just here you know that when a team's out of system, you almost know where the ball's going to go, and Strip knows exactly that the ball's going to go out to 4 there. Strip's there again.
Finally, some joy for Norway.
Unbelievable. I don't think I can remember the last time I saw a run of
11 it was, 11 points in a row.
Thanks, Adam.
Got my calculator, my tally chart was running off my page. Need an abacus, I think. Go old school. Good response though from Denmark.
I think that's what you want from your opposite player. Really attacking the left side of the ball, taking the ball on the way up and really going through it with the body. Really nice set, you can see, really driving towards the right-hand side, the left-hand side of the ball. Getting the longest possible angle. More passing problems for Norway. I think as a coach, you have to ask yourself what's important to change the game right now. And again, the libero is just struggling to see it, just struggling to be able to get her arms out, keep a straight platform, hold it towards its target. Smiles all round for Denmark. The pressure is not on them at the moment. No hiding place for Norway.
Can Stevensburg get Denmark to the technical timeout? 8 points in front. No, she can't. Long she goes with the serve.
Just trying to force their intensity, Norway, aren't they? Every point they're celebrating ferociously for, but actually they need to try and find an answer, an intervention. Nice wing, nice cover as well. Chance on the outside. 2 in the block again. Strip still on the front court. She has been a dominant character in this Danish performance. Again, good reactions. One, there's a net touch somewhere. Some puzzled faces. Really impressed with this middle blocker from Denmark. Robert?
She's doing very well. Takes a lot to impress you. She must be doing well.
Yeah, she's good feet. Good finish on the block.
Service error from Kragholm of Norway takes us into the second technical timeout of this third set with the score Denmark 16, Norway 10. Now I make that 14 of the last 17 points have gone the way of Denmark. I told you I'd keep the numbers crunching. 14 out of 17.
That's phenomenal.
You're welcome, once again.
I wrote some notes on my piece of paper earlier, and yeah, I don't understand them looking back at them now. they've lost context. And
do you know what? Don't get yourself bogged down in the numbers. I'll try and pluck them out. You keep an eye on what's happening on the court. If you're watching us at home and you want to get involved in the conversation, hashtag U19 Nevza 16 is the way to do so. We might read some of them out, provided that they're constructive.
Or funny.
Yeah, funny would work. Well, it saves you having to listen to us for the entirety of the rest of the afternoon. There is also the option of the mute button. But then Louis' little nuggets of information won't come across.
Surely there's no mute button. So again, it's just an experience that you come straight in out of a timeout and you miss your serve. Just again, it's just handing. It's freebies. It's frustrating. Bit of a gift from Denmark to Norway. It's just a lack of concentration. Again, they can find the middle. Few and far between here, but they've got a connection. Setter and the middle player in there for Norway. Denmark are now under pressure. You can sense it. Sense that there's now pretty tentative in the pass, because you have to stay quite relaxed in your platform to be able to track the ball, stay relaxed in your body. And you can just see here that it's really tentative on the way up. And then you can see the block of Norway setting up early, that everybody in the hall knows that ball's going to go outside. Good timeout though, compliment to the Danish coach. It's a good time to call a timeout this. It's almost telling the opposition to sit down, we're in charge, than waiting until they creep up and actually sit down because you're feeling a little bit threatened.
6 points they're led by at the second technical timeout. It's been halved to 3. Anna Askeland goes back to serve for Norway.
What are you saying, Robert? Who's going to win this set?
I've commentated on volleyball long enough to know not to attempt to predict points, let alone sets.
I'm going Norway.
The momentum's with them at the moment. That's 4 in a row from the technical timeout.
Be an interesting stat that if Norway win this. Is there any other team who have lost 11 consecutive points and still won a set? Be interesting. Have you got that stat?
I haven't. I like a stat, but I don't have that kind of volleyball encyclopedia, I'm afraid. There must be somebody in the National Volleyball Centre that does. If it doesn't exist here, it doesn't exist anywhere.
Sanjit?
I'll ask the question. That run of 5 points for Norway, halted by a service error from Askeland. And Denmark reset. Can they refocus? They've got your favourite player, Maya Strip, to serve next.
Yeah, I think Denmark would be happier if she's on the front court, but maybe she can have a bit of an effect. That is a really soft serve, actually. It's not ideal. They're struggling with the pass, Norway, and struggling to have build momentum through the pass. So for Strip to go and serve a dolly dropper straight down the middle, it just builds confidence, it builds momentum for them. And really anywhere but there, and Libero would be struggling. Look how happy she is to pop that ball in, like it's a confidence builder for her.
Yeah, that just catches the line. That's excellent from Helena Elbeck.
Pass is very, very straight. Middle's out the game, opposite's out the game. 2 blockers, the middle blocker already knows, so that's very, very good work from the outside player to still be able to find the gap. Odds almost against her, but maybe my prediction was a little bit wrong.
Well, Haakonsson's on service for Denmark. She's proved very, very reliable so far in this final.
Might have to eat my own words.
That's why I never do it.
It's a nice set.
Not quite executed as well as the set deserved from Emma Stevensborg.
Yeah, it's a nice set. Height, good width. She's just jumping the wrong side of the ball, so the ball gets caught inside her, and her arm naturally takes the ball the wrong side of the sideline instead of getting her feet a little bit more inside it, taking the ball super high.
Andersen, the Danish libero, unable to field that one from Bierland. Just about getting out of the way of that, Elbeck. And off she goes to be replaced by Katrina Lundberg. Lundberg has been used as a service substitution a couple of times in this final.
Some defense.
Yeah, Haakonssson.
Some Parks still, and it's really good to hold the position when the ball goes to the middle and be disciplined enough to do that.
Good from Jensen at the net as well for Denmark. Captain's been relatively quiet. We expected her to take a bit more charge of her troops, but she can keep putting away points like that. The Danish block strong again. This time it's Andersen.
And you can see when they're so out of system, the middle knows where it's going to go. So it's so important that you pass into a very good area between 2.5 and 3. And then your setter can really run an effective offense. But if you're passing all over the place, there's no way that your setter can run an offense that can stay out of the block.
Norway have called this timeout, trailing by 4 points, 18-22. It's been a fascinating third set. Denmark at one point put together a run of 11 consecutive points. Norway have done enough to hang on in there. As we get to the business end of it, Denmark just need 3 more points. Katrina Lundberg has been brought on to do a job on service. She's done that job so far.
It's just taking the pressure off of Denmark, isn't it? So strong.
Defense from Lundberg as well.
Just doing well to get shoulders underneath the ball, get arms under the ball, stay nice and low. Still in your ready position, but there's gap found second. Olenstad
squeezed it between Andersen and Stevensborg.
It's a free ball. The setter can just speed the game up a little bit from there. Big time in this game now, Rob. Very, very good effective serve. I don't know. This could be set defining.
Well, maybe your prediction of Norway was correct. After all, gap down to 2 points. Timeout called by Denmark.
I think I'd quite like to see 3, not quite so parked on the line, like one step back. And if they are really going to protect that line, 6 could sit just on the left shoulder of 1 and sit in between the block. So the 6th player at times, the 6 players playing defense. And if the block doesn't quite form together, you'd expect the 6th player to be in the middle to get that one, where the 1 player would be sat on the line on the other side of the blocker. And if they could just sit there, and if the middle player doesn't get there for Denmark, then the 6 players sat right in the middle of the block can play defense all day long.
If only we had one of them gadgets where you can draw stuff on the screen. It's a lovely little doodle you've done for me there.
If anyone's interested at home, it's just 2 lines, 2 dots, and
a squiggle. I think after this set, you should take a picture of that and tweet that on the hashtag U19 Nevza 16.
And I've signed it.
You've even signed it. Fantastic. Here we go then. Crucial point of this final. And Denmark get the first point out of their own timeout, and it's the skipper, Julie Jensen. And now they've got Sophia Anderson serving. Remember what she did last time she was on service duty? She got 11 in a row there. She only needs 2 in a row here. No. Cross court. And in from Norway. Not lying down, not going quietly. Being quiet on the court either. Norway really getting themselves pumped up for this. They've closed it to within a point. It's 22-23. It's anybody's game. Olimstad serves again for Norway. Oh, clever though. Clever from Strip. And it's set point Denmark. Just spotted the gap and was deft enough, had good enough hands to find it.
Yeah, ball's definitely not in the right spot here for Strip. But what she does well is she's just smart. The ball's far too low for her. What she knows that she can't do is go after it and hit it, because the ball's going to go into the net, so she has to loft it somehow, and that's through the tip. It's good enough to actually win them the point.
And ultimately, with Lackenmeyer's serve unreturnable, it's good enough to give Denmark the set. They won the first set, they lost the second, but 25-22 is the set score. And they're back in front, Denmark. This is turning into quite the final. Once again, if you are joining us expecting to be seeing the boys' final, it's Sweden versus Denmark. It will follow the conclusion of this final. We've got lots more to come still in this final, you feel.
Final.
These two sides met in Pool B on Friday, and Norway won it 3-1 after going a set behind. They went a set behind in this final. They won the second, but Denmark haven't read the script. Certainly they've not read it in Norwegian. They took the third set. It's 2-1. Are we going to 5, Louis? That's the big question.
Yep.
Yes is the only answer. Anyway, get on Twitter, hashtag U19 Nevza 16. You'll see some extremely modern looking art from Louis Lett. He's just tweeted a picture. What do we call you? The Picasso of the volleyball coaching world.
Yeah, I'm just going to add some more detail to it throughout the set and just see if I can just keep it going. See if I can keep...
I can't wait, but I tell you what, that's a great point for Denmark to win, because that was some reach by the libero Andersen. She flung her left arm out. It was just before this passage of play that we're watching here, I think. No, there it is, right in front of our camera. Super reach to keep it alive. Good positive start from Denmark, and more sort of miscommunication and poor handling in the Norwegian ranks. Look how eager Denmark are to get on with it. And look who's serving again, Harkinson.
It's a very high-risk set to be setting on the spin, trying to... Usually as a setter, you want to do your footwork early before the ball gets in your hands, but the setter doesn't have any choice here. She almost has to set it on the spin. And she's so desperate to try and get her middle player in the game.
Number 7, and after Bjørlund, replaced by number 6,
Bjørlund found the net.
We know what the problem is. It's the Norwegian passing unit that's in struggle city, but
that's why they love a service error.
They do love a service error. I've seen other teams in the past like service errors, but not many quite as much as this Norwegian team. They love a good service error.
Here's Garda serving. Norway on the board in this fourth set.
That's perfect.
Great play. Finished off perfectly by Sophia Andersen.
Now I think, again, when the pass is this good, middle's always going to be favourite at this level. Good timing. Nice set from Sun. Oh, whatever you can do, Denmark. Norway can do just as well.
Good response. Thea Sweda. She is serving now. Not featured an awful lot so far today.
Both players starting to really use the middle now, and what that does is it just, as a middle blocker, if you know that your opposition middle player is getting a lot of service, you really have to stick with them, and you can't really commit to the outsides. It's a really nice swing. Cross-ball in. See that middle players either want to hit to 5 or 1. They want to try and stay out 6, because if you're hitting towards the middle of the court, you're going straight into the block. I think we've just had this song, haven't we?
Sack the DJ. They got a lot of points to get through. Imagine having a song for each one of them. I don't think there's enough songs in the library.
Has Dave ever been to a library?
Not that kind.
Ah, okay. Maybe.
Olimstad finds a way off the side of the block. Top scorer in the semi-final for Norway, Olimstad. Not really been able to find her with a great deal of accuracy, with enough consistency so far, Norway.
Good defense. Again, that 6 player is just sitting slightly on the line behind the shoulder of the 1 player, just in the middle of the block. Double touch called against Seda. Not very happy.
It's a tough call, that. Jensen, the Danish captain, coming to the party. Emma Stevensborg serving. If Denmark could get into this first technical timeout, 4 points in front, they'd be delighted. Be a great start to what they hope will be the last set of this final, and they do. 8-4 they lead at the first technical timeout here in set number 4.
Denmark leading Norway 8-4.
Pass again off the net, no middle this time. Denmark have been effective when they've got the middle in. Sorry, Norway have been effective when they have got the middle in throughout this set, but when the pass isn't there, there's no way the setter can find the middle, so he starts overloading to the outside, but then the Danish middle blockers start to get to work as well. Start to get out and help the defense. Got a bit of split screen again.
Safe to say there's a few more smiles in the Danish camp than there are in the Norwegian camp at this stage.
I think maybe Norway potentially a bit complacent. Didn't realise they were going to have such a tough battle today, but
not used to being behind, Norway. They've got to deal with it. They've got to find a way to get themselves back in pole position, because they've got to do it the hard way. They're going to have to take us through 5 sets if they want to win this Under-19s Championship 2016.
3 in the pass. Pass has been, well, it's been very up and down. That is in a good spot. Maybe the middle gets back. No, but they do manage to get the outside running. Hollenstad goes through the block. A little bit late on the outside, the middle blocker. See there, her hand's just operating outside of her body line, so she can't quite penetrate with that right hand. Again, goes to the outside. Oh, that's a lot better. If we were to watch the 2 replays together, I think what you'll see here is that her right hand's much more above her shoulder, and her finish with her hand is a lot stronger. Yeah, there you go. You can see within her wrist and her little finger, pointing back round towards 6.
Almost as if she heard you.
I do talk loud.
There's another close call on the baseline right in front of us. Well left by Norway. Slow that down and have a look.
Do you think she had it covered if it dropped in?
Absolutely not. Nowhere near.
Me neither.
But after getting the right side of a service error, Norway commit one of their own through Kragholm. Maya Strip was a bit tentative the last time she was on service duty. Good swing again from Helena Elbeck.
6 swinging line in defense. Let's have a look here. This is a much better view. I like this view. 6 is, wow, 6 is really swinging line there. One's taking the tip, looking at the blocker being quite short, so they're feeling that they'll have to cover the tip and the hard hit down the line in defense. But actually what you've just done is given up a big bit of the court. If your block doesn't form, there's a massive gap in there. Don't quite understand why the coach has done that. If anyone wants to tweet me and tell me, I'd be really open to listening to it, but I think even on that.
It's Lois Tufts, the Norwegian coach, who has called the timeout here with her side 6-11 behind and a set down as well. There's no doubt these Norwegian players have got the quality. It's just whether they can string it together. Denmark have just seemed to have that bit extra in their locker so far.
That's nice. Just when the pass is there, when they pass into that zone, the whole game just completely opens up for them. Middles are quite effective for Norway. It's one thing with Strip that her serve does really, it's almost like a free ball. There's not a lot of zest on it. It's quite a slow arm.
Askeland asking questions of the Danish passing unit this time.
Way out of town, Denmark. This is gonna, well, Norway are definitely gonna have a couple of chances here to really progress through this set. The set's too far in front of the 3 meter line, so no spiking that time on the pipe. Chance on the outside though.
Once again, it's Elbeck. She's good out there.
I want to have another look at the defensive system here, to be honest. Hopefully the replay runs through this whole stage, because they're going really late. Okay, that's a bit better. She's holding the line a little bit more. It's just gone through over the block between the setter and the middle player. Nice D.
Slightly premature celebrations from Denmark. They can celebrate now. They thought that would be a clean kill. Not quite so from Stevensborg. She wound this one up.
Opposite absolutely loves having that width from the ball. Travels right the way across the arm onto the right side, and you can really choose whether you want to dictate it down the line or on the angle.
Harkinson showing her supremacy in the serve once again. The Danish number 3 once again piling the pressure on the Norwegian libero.
Confidence is low here for libero. Feet pointing the server. Make sure you take time to take a deep breath. Make sure your starting position is strong and you track the ball. That's a little bit better. Still on the move a bit there, too much for me, but actually what was really good was you can move as much as you like. If you have a good solid platform and something for the ball to really bounce off and stay true to the target, you're going to be all right.
And it just shows what a difference it makes when she can not just keep the ball in play, but keep the ball in play in a kind of region that allows her other teammates to play. That'll make all the difference for Norway.
The 6 is sitting very high, but it doesn't matter, off the chest.
Almost kept out Elbeck that time. Still not quite able to do so.
It's great here just to get her approach. She gets out quite wide. She really does wait. Slightly on the way down, but initially good work in the approach to make sure that the ball's being set from off the net. You have to really make sure you get more of a wider and get off the net a bit more.
I tell you what, another tight call on the baseline. Lois Torps, for the 3rd time in this final, is going absolutely berserk on the sidelines. Again, it's the same official in question. Let's have a look at this. Lundberg's been brought on as a substitute, again from a service perspective. We'll slow this right down on the replay. Right out the back door. Another questionable call. Slow it down frame by frame and see how that ball hits the floor. Out for me.
Just a tad.
But we don't get the benefit of slow-mo replays for the officials down there court side. Anyway, after all that, we're into the 2nd technical timeout with Denmark leading 16-9. They're just 9 points away from what seemed at the start of this match an unlikely victory. They were third last year, Denmark. In their home nation, it was in Ikast. In England for the next 3 years now, the under-19s competition. And now it's Denmark's turn to be disappointed by the decision.
Some angle, this.
It's getting a bit feisty down there.
Attacking really well through position 2. She loves crunching the angle. Can't really tell, but shouldn't worry Denmark too much. But one's left that hits the baseline.
Ace serve from Tia Sweda. This match has had a bit of everything so far.
Could go down as one of the all-time classics in Nevza under-19 history. It's been a good game.
Has been. By no means over yet. Not if Norway have got anything to say about it.
Just delayed on the block a little bit. Nose. If you watch it, you can see that when the tip's coming, there's usually a delay in the approach speed or within the arm speed. Which means you can wait a little bit on the block. And back to 4 though.
Timeout called by Denmark. Head coach Mats Olof Björkman. Just try and break up the rhythm of Norway. Denmark led 16-9 at the technical timeout. It's 16-12, so 3 in a row for Norway. We talk about how important the swings and the little bunches of points are. Timeouts often used just as much to disrupt the rhythm of a server. This instance, it's Tia Sweda, as much as they are for tactical instruction.
Huge period of the game, this.
Another good serve from Sweda. Didn't really know what to do with it, Lundberg.
Just lets the ball get past her. See here, she's struggling to see early on. She's getting screened a little bit. So the blocker's in the way of her eyesight. You can see she's not still when she's tracking the ball. She's already rocking, which means that she has to go one way and then push back off the other foot to be able to track the ball.
Tia Sweda again for Norway is single-handedly closing the gap.
Out system again, so the defense operates well for Norway, but the blocking strength of Denmark has been one of its really key factors of this performance. It's not Denmark who make the block, it's Norway. Good middle work from Kragholm.
Substitution for Denmark. Number 1, Jonas Solution comes in for number 6, Julio Jensen.
It's a good finish with the hands and the wrists pointing towards 6. Just passing problems galore for Denmark. It's almost role reversal, having that time to set up, track the ball off the serve. It's been a poor period. As we said after the timeout, it was a key time of the game, and the 4 points have all gone to Norway. Some bullets from the baseline, flat, punchy, fast float serves. Denmark are a team who can almost see the finish line, but don't want to take that plunge. This is
very tense arm from Anderson, who served so brilliantly in set number 3.
pass again off the net, just lacking confidence, but the opposite. A lot of credit needs to go to Stensborg, because everything she's touching at the minute is turning into points. Again, she loves cannoning angle, but she's quite physical. She hasn't gone a lot to the line. It doesn't matter when you're hitting this well. And she's going to serve, which means she's off the front court. They have a front court setter now. Denmark. Oh, good reactions. Got to keep your hands off the net, though. Back to the outside, 2 in the block again. Head shot. Oh, Stensborg again this time in defense. Another chance. Out to the outside for Norway. Fired wide, agonizingly close from Almenstad. Claps all around the arena.
Denmark off fighting for every single scrap of a point.
Just 2 or 3 touches throughout the rally. Just, you know it's your day when those things start to work for you. The libero there had her arms together far too early. Even up in front of her face where she can see him. Point for Norway though.
Just a point in it.
Robert, any idea on who's going to win this one yet, mate?
Absolutely none.
Don't like casting judgment, do you?
No. Very much getting splinters on this fence. But I'm happy sat up here. Trying to use strip through the middle.
Maybe a net touch. Oh, someone got a little bit heated in there, punching the ball away.
There was an angry swipe at a ball there against second referee Seb Vidlart's decision.
Can't do that.
It was number 11, Kristina Garde of Norway. Jonna Sørensen serving for Denmark, who are 5 points away from the title.
The outside again, 2 in the block. Great blocking again from Strip. She's had a great game. Credit where credit's due to Stensborg again. Wow, who unfortunate that time at full stretch of the right wrist, but the first time it's really difficult as a defender when the ball takes a deflection off the block on the way through to just be able to stick an arm out and ball alive. You can see the coach from Denmark really after a carry there or a double touch in the setting, it's given his way.
No surprises that they go outside to Helena Elbeck. When they need a point, that's who they go to and that's who delivers.
Libero does well to step in and take control there. Middle's out the game, but at this stage you really just want your cannons on the front court. And that's exactly what Elbeck did. She knows that they're blocking an angle on her, she whips one down the line. They've set up well here, Denmark. They're protecting the line as much as they can out at 4. They're getting a lot of success, and once again, Stensborg staying still is reading and making a lot of reads.
She's having a telling contribution on this effort from Denmark, and what an effort it is. And this effort is 3 points away from victory. It's a good reach there by Elbeck.
Yes, well out the hitting window, so the ball's never from that angle when the ball travels right the way across your body. You're never going to go to the line. It always has to come back faded. But take nothing away from Stensborg, who has just made 2 or 3 defensive plays for her team. Sat at position 1. They've set up to defend the line. They know it's going to come that way. But actually, Stensborg's being very, very disciplined and reacted well. It's so relaxed on the Danish bench that the Danish coach is obviously quite hungry. Just having a snap. How often do you see that?
Not very.
Just having a few nachos. nachos in a timeout.
Staple diet of a volleyball coach, you must know.
Yeah, maybe some pork scratchings in the fourth set. Keep the energy levels up.
Maya Strip serving then, with Denmark 3 points away from victory. Stevensborg is really impressed in this set, and she gets it through the block and gets Denmark 1 step closer. We've only got to take 2 more steps.
It's been great. Stevensborg through the opposite, digging balls. Again, that one's in front of her. Goes right the way through it. Big physical athlete. Starting to do a little bit more within the approach, but she's been on fire.
Denmark 23, Norway 19.
Well, Maya Strip's surface is probably the weakest area of her game, but the last 2 or 3 have done just the job for Denmark. And that's excellent from Elbeck, who has been excellent throughout this final. She's there to put it straight back down on the Norway side, and it's match point, it's championship point for Denmark.
They've played great, haven't they? They blocked so well between Strip, Stevensborg, and the outside. Elbeck played really well. Another scoop again, this time from Strip. Frustration for her, but there's a long way back for Norway now.
It is. Denmark have got the luxury of 3 more championship points. Absolutely no pressure then on Anna Askeland on serve now for Norway.
There's absolutely Norway back now. Terrible.
That is awful.
Yeah. It's all right, I'm only here for 1 day.
Can Norway keep themselves in the fight? They can for now.
It's funny, they've tried to find an answer down that line by going hard or through the block. Good defense from Norway.
Kristina Lasdategard.
Found no joy by going hard down that line, so they've had to go for a tip that's gone short on.
2 championship points saved by Norway, and that's very quickly a 3rd. This is excellent stuff from Anna Askeland.
Yeah, she's proving to have a lot of guts behind that line. They're going to have to find any way now, Denmark, to slow the game down. Yeah, there's a timeout. Just any way possible to slow this game down, to make sure that they make it as difficult as they can for Norway. Maybe there is a way back. Maybe that's my punishment for using such a terrible pun.
Maybe it's pun punishment.
Punishment, yeah. Pun punishment.
24-22. Denmark have had 3 championship points already. They've failed to convert all 3 of them, thanks mainly to the gutsy service of Anna Askeland.
Coach taking nothing for granted, stopped eating on the sideline.
And the nachos are down. Yeah, but imagine if they win it, the nachos will be up in the air like confetti. Anna Askeland, good bottle so far.
Can she carry on?
Still facing championship point here, Norway.
She's done unbelievably well after the timeout to keep concentration. Oh, wow.
Yeah, Denmark get it. It's a brave and valiant performance. The coach has done an entire lap of their side of the court. That's exactly what it means to Denmark. They have beaten Norway by 3-1 in a fantastic clash.
Sloppy way to win it. Norway will be frustrated with that, but the damage was done from Denmark. And look at this slow-mo replay of the coach doing his lap of honour. Love that. Played very well, Denmark. We said blocked well, they served well. Really the opposite. And the outside, true warriors out there.
Great performance from Denmark then. The boys' final is coming up on the live stream shortly. Myself and Louis are going to hot-foot it across to the other side of the National Volleyball Centre in Kettering for that. But the girls' champions of the Nevza Under-19s 2016 competition by 3 sets to 1 are Denmark.